We're back. Welcome back to the press box.
Yeah, Mister, I'm on vacation again.
Yeah, I'm back. Like I'm slightly tan. My beard looks better. It's unbelievable. Aren't you glad to have me back?
Yeah, I guess
How much
so.
did you miss me on a scale of 1 to 10?
Can I go negative?
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, negative it is. Mark Haskell, Zach Miller. We're here to talk the press box. We're here to talk Patriots,
Yeah,
Red Sox.
football.
Football is
Finally.
back as of last night. We've got preseason action back on the gridiron. Of course, the Patriots and Redskins played last night. A 26-17 win for the Patriots in Gillette Stadium.
Yes, correct.
I hate preseason football. I just don't get into it. But it doesn't change the fact that this is the first time they're back on the field since Super Bowl 52. It's a big deal to people around here, and everybody is talking about it. So, Zach, you probably watched a lot more of the game than I did last night, so we'll go right to you with it. What did you see? I mean, I know the Redskins scored the first 17 points of the game. Patriots scored 26 unanswered, had a couple touchdowns from Ralph Webb, who came out of nowhere. But we'll go to you first. Just tell me what you saw from the Patriots last night.
I saw a pretty bad team in the first half, is what I saw. Patriots couldn't do anything. They had 100 yards of offense. Granted, Brady didn't play, Gronk didn't play. The normal cast of stars didn't play, which is completely normal for the preseason.
Right.
But Brian Hoyer came in. He did okay. The offense was very sluggish. They ran the ball a lot more than I thought they were going to. But in the second half, it was just like Belichick lit the fire under him like he normally does, as we've been accustomed to the past 20 years, it seems like. And they just came out on all cylinders, offense chugging down the field. They had one drive that I think was like 18 or 19, 17 plays or something like that. They marched into the end zone. And that Ralph Webb kid that you were talking about, he was like almost like a Deion Lewis clone, and he was undrafted out of Vanderbilt. I think he scored like 30-something touchdowns or something for Vanderbilt in his career, and he was like a little spark plug there.
He scored 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions, and 14 carries for 46 yards. The thing for me is, you say that they looked better in the second half, but to me it's like, all these guys are like third-string guys, fourth-string guys. It doesn't say anything about what the Patriots or the Eagles or whoever, what they're going to look like in week one. It's just Belichick, trying to get a look at guys and trying to see what they've got with player X, player Y, or player Z. So it's hard for me to take a lot of stock in this. I mean, I saw the highlights from Ralph Webb's touchdowns. I mean, it all looked good, but reading up about it, this guy's the 9th ranked running back on their depth chart.
Oh yeah, I mean, who knows though? He might make the team because the Patriots seem to pull skills and the heart and drive out of players more so than you see at other different clubs.
You're correct.
But I have to say the tight ends played pretty well last night. They made some key blocks for Webb and the other running backs, some key blocks. I can't remember the name of the blocks, like down blocks or other blocks like that. But there were also a lot of penalties. I saw a bunch of like blindside hits last night, which are a no-no, obviously.
Right.
You can't just come up and cream the guy in the head.
There have been some head-to-head hits already, and they're being quick on the ejections on head-to-head hits. They're obviously going to put the stamp down on that this season.
Those are. I think they did that last year too. You can't hit basically above here anymore.
But normally it would just be a flag. It wouldn't be an automatic ejection. But now
true.
it looks like they're going to just start ejecting players when that happens.
It really does. And you know what? They're all about the player safety nowadays, which is understandable because there obviously is a link to NFL and concussions and CTE, even though the NFL doesn't really want to admit it. But
it's the most obvious thing ever.
It is. If you haven't seen the movie Concussion, it's a great movie with Will Smith. I talk about that. But yeah, it was a big tale of two halves for the Patriots last night. Like you said, it doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things. But they have to get down to the 53-man roster by the end of, or like the beginning of September. And who knows, that 9th string running back Webb out of Vanderbilt, he may just make the cut. Even though they're gonna have James White and Rex Burkhead and Jeremy Hill, which was a mainstay in Cincinnati for years, played pretty well last night as well. And it was interesting to see him play. And who knows, he may not even make the squad after being an NFL back for
I mean, you look at
10 years.
You've got Burkhead, you've got James White. There are all these guys that you haven't even seen yet. That's why I have a hard time believing that a guy like Ralph Webb, unless he does that 3 more times, I have a hard time believing that a guy like that's going to be anything other than a practice squad player.
As we're talking about this, we'll throw up the other scores from the preseason game. Not like it really matters. But one game I was interested in was the Browns with their new look team and all those.
Yes,
they looked pretty good last night.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I think I said this to you earlier before we came down, but I think Baker Mayfield will overtake Tyrod Taylor as a starting quarterback before year's end.
I think you're right on that. And again, might just be prognosticating a little too soon. It's the first week of the preseason. Like, it's hard to know what any of this means yet. But I will agree with you. Baker Mayfield looked really good. But Tyrod looked good, too.
Yeah, he did. They both did.
Is there a chance that the Browns might be good this year?
I think they're not going to go winless. I can tell you that. And
I don't
honestly,
want to overreact.
They're going to upset some people along the way, I think.
I mean, you've got Jarvis Landry at wide receiver.
Yep.
You've got Josh Gordon. They're talking about bringing Des Bryant in potentially.
And that's three great receivers there.
Yeah.
All pro receivers.
And you've got a guy like Tyrod who can move around in the pocket, make things happen. Or Baker Mayfield might just come in and he might just set the world on fire.
Yeah.
And you've got Roethlisberger. He's getting older. Like the Steelers, they're it's always their division to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I don't see anything from the Ravens that makes me think they're going to take the division. Cincinnati, definitely not. I mean, is it out of the realm of possibility? No. I think they could win the AFC North.
Will they? Probably not. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year or the year after that. It's almost like the Browns this year, I feel like, are like the Jaguars of old. Remember how bad the Jaguars used to be? They used to be the laughingstock of the NFL, but now they're AFC Championship last year. They almost went to the Super Bowl. And I think this year they'll take another step and be a little bit better because they have a very young squad with a lot of talent.
Cleveland will be a tough team not to root for. And before anybody thinks that there's no chance that Cleveland makes the playoffs, I'd just like to take this opportunity to remind everybody that the Buffalo Bills made the playoffs last year.
That's true. They did.
Anything could happen. It's all on the table.
They didn't do anything in the playoffs.
No, they didn't.
Still made the playoffs.
No, they did. I don't think they scored one touchdown, actually. They lost to the Jaguars pretty handily. But.
Well, one team we know that's going to make the playoffs would be the good old Boston Red Sox because, they're just on frickin' fire. So this may be their best Red Sox team.
In the biz, we call that a transition. Look at that.
And a transition with a transition.
I love that.
I
love that.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good.
Baseball behind me now.
Yeah, you're a big baseball guy. And even though the Red Sox lost last night to snap their 6-game win streak, some guy, what the hell is his name? I can't think of his name.
Marcus Lynn something.
No,
that's
Betts
actually
or something.
Marcus
Betts.
Marcus Lynn Betts,
yes.
ladies and gentlemen,
yes.
Unbelievable. So he hits for the cycle last night. First Red Sox player to do it since Brock Holt did it in 2015.
Yeah.
They did lose that game, but they were on a 6-game winning streak before that, which, by the way, they swept the Yankees in Fenway. No big deal.
Yeah, really.
They've won 11 of 13.
Mookie was also the first Red Sox player to hit for the cycle in a loss since Yaz did it back in like 67 or something like that. So it's been a long time.
Yeah. He has been just lighting the world on fire. And we've had this conversation on this set a few times about, is it Trout, is it Betts? Or Martinez. And I haven't said it's not Betts. I've said that I think Trout is the best player in Major League Baseball. But I think at this point, Trout's been on the shelf for a week with an injury. In the last week, Betts has gone 375, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 2 homers, a 1.358 OPS. I mean, it's not fair that Trout's hurt and he really can't be out there to defend himself, so to speak. But at this point in the season, I think Betts is your MVP.
Yeah, easily. And the plays that he's made in the outfield, too, we haven't even gotten to those yet. His batting alone is outstanding, and his play in the field is probably just as good.
How dramatic was the way he finished off that cycle in the 9th inning? He needed a home run. He hit it, and that immediate reaction out of him, like he knew it was gone. He's pointing it. Like there's something really, really great happening with this team right now. I mean, it's all of a sudden, this is a really easy team to get behind. They're really likable. Price isn't pitching so badly. He's not a headline for the wrong reasons, at least not for the last few weeks. Mm-hmm. But some other stuff has happened. Pomeranz has been sent to the pen. It's now looking like Brian Johnson is going to be in the rotation now.
No Chris Sale for like the past week. He's missed his last 2 starts,
but I've been fine with that. I'm all with keeping him healthy and ready for October when it comes around. He's going to start this weekend in Baltimore. They've got a doubleheader tomorrow. We're shooting this Friday. Doubleheader tomorrow, and then Saturday he will start against Baltimore in Baltimore. I think that the Red Sox, they're now 8 games up on the Yankees thanks to that sweep. But I think they've got the division, but you don't know. I mean, I'm looking at the schedule here. I mean, they've got 6 more games against the Yankees. They've got September 18th through 20th in New York, and then September 28th through 30 in Boston. Just say the Yankees won all those games. That could be the division. They could be right in. The Red Sox, they have to play Cleveland 7 times. They have to play Houston 3 times.
Yeah,
those are
tough.
all playoff teams. It's not over. I mean, I think it's a good thing that we padded this lead.
It really is, and I agree with you. It's not going to be easy for the Red Sox down the stretch, but I honestly think they can do it. They've made it look so easy. It's so effortless. There's a lot of comparisons being thrown around between this Red Sox team and the Red Sox team from 07 and the Red Sox team from back in 04 with the idiots. How calm and cool and collected they were. They're just having fun, and you can see that in the dugout every time they all go in after someone gets a big hit. I think like after Moreland or Martinez hit a home run. They're like throwing sunflower seeds on him as they're like walking through the dugout. And you could just tell that this team is having fun. And I think a lot of that has to do with Alex Cora as a manager.
I agree.
A much more relaxed manager. And I think he actually knows what he's doing as opposed to Farrell.
And you know what? Alex Cora, if you're watching this, you're not. But if you are, you were right about Hanley Ramirez. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Everybody was like, what is he doing? They're not going to get any offense out of first base. I was wrong. I was totally wrong.
Mitch Moreland has come on pretty strong in the past few games, too. He had a pretty strong series in Toronto, hitting the home runs and the doubles to tie things up.
And to have the wherewithal to pick up Steve Pearce off the scrap heap.
Yeah, that game against the Yankees, we had 3 home runs. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a really good job plugging guys into where they can play. I mean, there was the game, what was it, Nunez got hurt during the Yankee series, and then Betts went back to second base for a couple innings. That was kind of cool.
They were talking about it during the broadcast, and they said that he actually practices there every single day, which is interesting. So it's nice to have Betts as a right fielder and a second baseman if you need him.
So do we think Betts is going to win the AL MVP?
I think so. Yes.
I've heard Shaughnessy and a couple other guys I kind of agree with him. You look at JD Martinez and his numbers. I mean, he's right there in the MVP discussion too. And I think it's a 2-horse race between Trout and Betts. But I think that JD Martinez could steal some votes from Betts and make this, maybe Trout's to win.
Yeah, maybe. But at the same time, Martinez doesn't play the field all that often, which I think would kind of take away from the MVP type play on that. But yeah, like you said, it's anybody's to lose, and it depends on how long Trout's out for as well.
Right.
If he's out for an extended period of time,
I think he'll be back soon because he was never put on the DL. He's been gone a week, and they didn't put him on the DL, which to me was kind of crazy. But and again, if Betts wins it or if he doesn't win it, I don't care. That does not make a difference to me at all. Everybody's like, oh, Carson Wentz didn't win the MVP. I don't care. I don't care. I just want World Series or Super Bowls or championships are how teams are defined and how players are defined. And I don't think would you rather have Mookie win the AL MVP and have them lose out to Houston in the ALCS? Who cares? Give it to Trout. I don't care.
I think the Red Sox will win the World Series this year.
I
honestly do.
I think they're the front runners right now.
Easily.
But you never know. I always think back to that year 4 or 5 years ago. They had a 12-game lead over Tampa?
And they blew it in
September. And they blew it and they lost it on the last 5 minutes of the season. They got eliminated from the playoffs.
That was the fried chicken
That's right.
in the clubhouse, right?
That's right. That's right.
With Josh Beckett.
Josh Beckett's last year.
Exactly.
That's right. Well, this has been fun. We've been chatting for a lot longer than I thought we would to just talk about the Patriots and the Red Sox primarily. But next week, I'm actually going to the Patriots-Eagles game next week in the preseason. That's going to be a Thursday night game. So we will be sure to talk about that next week when I return. I will let you know what we saw, what we didn't see. Pretty sure we'll just see Tom Brady and Carson Wentz sitting on the sidelines holding clipboards.
Probably.
But that's fine. We're not really in it for that. We're just in it to go see the Super Bowl champs.
Drink some beer.
And drink some beer. So that'll be fun.
Really expensive beer.
Yeah, probably. $9 beer night.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. I'm Mark. This is Zach. We'll see you next week on the Press Box.